Welcome to Coffee with Joy. I'm your favorite host, Joy. So excited to see you all in the building. Of course, before we get into it, let's get into the fit. Of course, this is from from Target, their Avid and Livy collection. A little flowy dress for the springtime. Of course, you have to say one mechanic, yes, with the one color. So, hey, if you into spring, let's see your colors. Now, let's jump right into it. Now, are you an avid reader? Do you like to listen and read your book at the same time? Well, there's a niche for that. Check this clip out.
So you guys were plugged into the audiobook and reading the book at the same time.
Yes, this is exactly what I do. I will read the physical book and listen to the audiobook. It's like watching a movie with subtitles. It helps me focus, but also if you put the audiobook at a faster speed, then you can train your eyes to read faster. I don't think this is weird. Do you do this though?
Wow. I never even thought of that. I probably won't, but I'm pretty much I think if I had to choose, I surely would love to just read a book because I'm more focused. Because just to hear it and read it, I haven't tried, but I'll probably stick to my old ways and just continue to read a book. But now there are book lovers all over the world. It's even to a point where, some people use books for their decor. They put their books up, they make nice shelves. But this one particular person, I don't know if she read all these books, but the design that she has put in her bedroom really would shock you. Check this clip. Wow. Well, I did read a comment, which I was kind of intrigued too. How was she able to get all the books in one color? I'm still at awe and amazed. Well, I have my guest Hollis in the building. Today's guest is my boy Hollis. Hollis. Hey Hollis, how are you? He's in studio. He's about to come through. Hey Hollis, how are you? It's so great to see you in the building. As he's an author and an artist. So we're going to talk about his book as well. And we're going to learn a little bit more about his book as well as his new album, Enough. So after these messages, we're going to talk to my guest Hollis, and we'll be right back.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. I'm your favorite host, Joy. So excited to have you all again back in the building. Well, I'm going to trade my cup for this awesome book, Boldly Bound, written by my guest, Hollis. And we're going to get right into it. So, hey, Hollis, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Joy, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for my book. But before we get into it, can you tell people a little bit about yourself? Then we're going to jump right on in.
Sure. So, everyone, I'm Hollis Choi Cam. I am an executive coach. I'm also an HR executive, an artist, and an author and speaker. And Thank you for the applause. Um, um, so I'm from New York. With Caribbean heritage, and I live in New Jersey, and love music, love to read, love creativity, and love to travel.
Yes, yes, definitely. I am here for the traveling. Yes, surely getting out. So, before we get to the album, let's talk about Boldly Bound. What made you want to write this book? Of course, the infamous question, right? Why this
Yes.
book?
Sure. So it was my journey through self love and body confidence. And if I go back to probably probably 20 to 17 or so, so kind of my journey of coach training.
Okay.
And there was a so through coach training is a lot of like work you're working on yourself, of course, and a lot of things come up. And definitely one thing that came up for me was around, am I worthy, am I enough, like those types of feelings, the confidence, so kind
Hmm.
of feelings that I pushed aside for many years. And I came up more so through the training. And then as I continued on, I actually did a my coach gave me a challenge for 30 days to go to someone and ask them to take a picture of me, so a stranger, and ask them to take a picture of me and also say what I'm doing when I'm working on my body, and confidence and self-love. And kind of those 30 days helped me craft kind of what the book would look like years later. So it was kind of my own journey, and
Okay.
also working with clients is kind of what helped inspired writing this book and action journal.
Wow. And so I think that's phenomenal. So how did the title come? Because I know writing, preparing to write a book, and I could be wrong, but I know sometimes you start writing and you don't even have the title. So how did you form the title, Boldly Bound?
That story actually by a good friend, Corinne Shishimba. She's actually helped me with the title.
Hmm.
I was working. I was actually in a meeting with her and also with my editor,
Okay.
Nefertiri Medford was that, and we were talking and having conversation around it. And I was like, I'm not sure what to title this book, and Corinne was the one that said, "How about Boldly Bound?" Which actually makes sense. So the bound, it's a journey, right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
moving forward. And this
Yeah.
action journal takes you on a journey of
Hmm.
self love and body confidence from day one all the way to day 36 or 36 weeks, however you want to take it. And
Hmm.
also bound as in like an actual bound book. And then
Right.
boldly, right, is moving, just like you're taking courage, you're taking these steps, and you're going to move forward boldly. And definitely, this book, as you go through rituals, as you go through journaling, it moves you in that direction. So this book is not for the faint of heart, definitely.
Truly, truly. Remember, people, you're not just reading this book, it's an interactive book. You have to write accordingly because I know it's set up where is, beginning of the day, midday, and evening. Why did you come into that
Yeah,
part of writing, beginning of the day, midday, and evening? Because it's centered on one day, but it's in three parts for that one day. How did that
yeah,
breakdown come
yeah.
about?
It's all about, it's consistency, and also about doing the work, and like just different touch points of the morning is when you're fresh, and that's kind of where the journal prompt is in the morning. And the
Mhm,
midday is kind of the ritual that
mhm.
is set for each particular technique. And that ritual is like, okay, let's do something a little bit different each day. um, and it just breaks up the day a little bit.
Okay.
And then at the end of the night, like this is when you kind of closing your night, things a little bit calmer, where you then write again. So actually, you're kind of writing all three parts of the day,
Mhm.
but definitely in the middle is kind of the action part of the journal.
I could truly understand it. It does keep you consistent, right? Because if a person, let's say hypothetically, say, "Hey, I'm gonna just do it at night," they may forget. But if they didn't do it in the
Yeah,
morning, they know they still have that midday and that evening. Because you want to build that consistency because again, a lot of people do
Yep.
not write nor do they have any affirmation to really help build them up. So I know with, Boldly Bound, surely definitely will put them in that aspect and just kind of redirect the question back to them, asking them how are they, whatever that question may be for them to write. Because, a lot of people are not freelance writers. They just can't just journal. They could probably write, but they just can't journal. So
Mhm.
having those prompts daily and to condition yourself. Now, what has been your
Exactly.
reviews like on the books that you have done? Because I noticed that you have done like, book groups, just making people, saying I am worthy and having those affirmations come alive.
So I would say the reviews that I've received is that I get deep really quickly. Like
Mm,
when you take the when you start to write. Um,
hmm.
and sometimes people would put it down and then bring it back up again.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And also that some people would do it in the 36 days, and then some people would actually break it out into 36 weeks, which actually say in the description to say, hey,
Yeah.
this might take 36 weeks, and that's perfectly fine. It's all about
Right.
keep on moving and keep on doing it.
Right. And like I
Oh,
stated, it just helps keeps with the consistency and help really builds up what's taking place because without those prompts, it won't have the same effect. Now, when people are, talking to you and explain to you, have anything has hit home with you like, wow, I'm so grateful that I started this journey and have written this book. Have anything went home, any testimonials that's like, okay, probably need to do a part two, anything along that way?
yeah, yeah. Hmm, good question. I would say what hit home, I think, was so the book is written into kind of like into five different self-love techniques.
Mhm.
So it's adoration, intimacy, nourishment, movement, and adornment. And they're
Mm.
you could do any and all of them kind of in whatever order, but really the order of how it is kind of the order of how you should do the journal. And I would say the intimacy one, I think,
Okay.
the intimacy chapter, you could say, is the one where folks I would resonate the most, which actually for me was the hardest to write.
Mm.
It was the last one that I wrote because I knew it was difficult. And I remember when writing it and actually looking in the mirror and saying some of these affirmations, I'm like, what is it, what can I say, or how can I help the reader, the writer, the person that's going through this process that's going to really hit home and hit deep. And it's also going to hit deep for me too. So I actually
Mm.
went in the mirror and practiced it. So, and to
Oh.
hear that it was that particular chapter is also um, it challenges them as
Mhm.
it challenged me to write it, really was what hit home for me.
Wow. I know it took some time. Like, how long did it take you to even come up, along your journey before it was actually produced? Like, what was the length? Because this is not like, okay, easy write. When I say easy write, meaning you have your characters, you have your plot. No, you have to think outside the body for individuals to be able to resonate with these questions or resonate with the thought of, going
Yeah.
along with the book to say, wow, okay, I do love myself in these categories. So making sure that these questions. So how long did it take you to from beginning to end into writing your book?
Yeah. So um, I would say actually probably a year. So
Mm.
what I did first is I actually did a whole challenge on social media. And if you go
Okay.
back into my social media, you may see some of that. Or maybe I took it down. I don't know, but you may see some of the of the challenge um,
Right.
first, and that's kind of where it started from. Where I said
Mhm.
I was going to do these different rituals for actual 30 days straight. I
Mhm.
created a kind of a month of love, and each day I was doing something. And actually, I was on vacation as part of that, and I
Uh-huh.
was doing the same thing and posting every day while I was on vacation for these the different actions too. So it started then, and then really it took 6 months to really get into crafting what was going to be on the page. and taking
Okay.
time to do so. And a lot of this I wrote kind of when I on the plane, and
Okay.
actually
Yeah.
when I was on vacation. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
and definitely kind of when I came down to then choosing the right editor, which I mentioned, Nefertiri, as well as
Yeah.
even a graphic artist, like to design the cover of the book and also the layout, which was
Okay.
MJ Everett. um, took that time, even to the point where we were just about to like put it up on Amazon, and there was some snags, doing so, and even there was pressure with that too. So there were moments of it was supposed to come out earlier, and then it took a little while, and then going back again, and let's go about it again, and then finally I was like, okay, by hook or by crook, this has to be out in the month of February because I wanted it to be out in February for the month of love, and really
Okay.
saying about the month of self love.
Right, right. Oh, wow. Because that was going to be my question. I know that, we have this target date and we're trying to make sure we meet this target date, but you want to, it's perfection, right? You're trying to make sure that it's right. And of course, trying to align everything. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're able to have your book out. Of course, Boldly Bound, you all need to get it. So after these messages, we're going to continue to talk to Hollis. And keep in mind, make sure that you get this book. You can follow him on IG and all social media to get Boldly Bound. And please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy on all social media. And if you'd like to patronize Coffee with Joy towards the end of the show, we will have our Q codes. But after these messages, we're going to continue to talk to Hollis. And he's not only an author, he's an artist. And we talk about his new album, Enough. Latest news, today's news, current news, gossip news, you name it. I am your host with Coffee with Joy as I share any up-to-date news that's taking place around the world. But if you would like to check it out, please make sure you go to my YouTube channel, Coffee with Joy, where I share the latest topic. I am your host with Coffee with Joy with today's topic. So, welcome back. So, we're going to watch this short clip, and we have some great news to share.
So I commit to being my true self.
I commit to being my true self.
I say yes to me every time.
I say yes to me every time.
I illuminate positive energy.
I illuminate positive energy.
And no longer have to dim my light.
And no longer have to dim my light.
For anyone or any reason.
For anyone or any reason.
With the energy from light, I can heal my body and mind.
With the energy from light, I can heal my body and mind.
I am strength and weakness combined.
I am strength and weakness combined.
And today I choose the one my body and mind wants.
And today I choose the one my body and mind wants.
How does that feel here? Because you were saying that in your
Wow. So you can tell us a little bit about that. Then we get into Enough, like around your session here. If you could talk a little bit about that.
Sure, that was actually from a strong friend meetup that happened a couple of years ago with Akila Benjamin, also known as Mimi, and it was a great group of women in the room, and basically did a workshop on self-love and body confidence. And at that moment, at the end of the workshop, we basically did some affirmations from the book, and it was such a great moment. For the people and for me, all of us who attended at that particular moment, because it's really, and thank you for reminding me of the clip, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But it was around just like even some of the words, like I am light, and I have the power within, or I have the power within me to heal, and it kind of and I'm strength and weakness, and my body and my mind chooses what it desires and what it wants on both of those things. And I don't have to show up, as one or the other, or even strength all the time, or strong all the time, that is.
I think that's phenomenal because truly, when people, abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So when they're able to say it, and you never know how any male or female may be feeling, but hearing those affirmations truly, truly will help. And I hope that it continues to carry on because we know the strong friend meetup. Yes, we know a strong friend, and truly there was probably some strong friend who really needed that affirmation. So again, thank you so much, Hollis. So now not only you are a author, but you also a singer. Now, how did we
Yes.
get to become this wonderful futuristic, singer who's going to be, of course, on NWCP and Oscar and all of that? So tell us, how
Preach,
did we
preach.
too? Yes, yes, yes. I can see it. I can see it. I'll be right there on the red carpet, like, "Hey, Hollis, you got a few seconds?" Hey.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Now, how did we get the two? How did we become this artist?
Yeah. I've kind of been a hidden or a secret artist, I guess, for many years.
Mm,
I've always I love music. Music has always been my therapy. If you know what I'm singing, you know what I'm feeling. And
okay.
from a child, I wanted to be on stage singing, but I kind of gave up on that dream many
Mm,
years ago, and decided, to take a different um, journey. However, I was still in the arts, but producing more so than actually, creating in that way. And I started taking, voice lessons a number of years ago. But I think what really sparked the album, or sparked, actually creating music and writing and working with amazing collaborators with the music, was actually my through divorce. So in
okay.
2020, I got divorced,
Mhm,
and with that, threw myself into many like coaches, and then even therapy, and also many like personal development journeys, and retreats and such. And um, I remember, like, kind of, there was a hard time, and I was saying, I don't feel, worthy. I don't feel enough, and I want to
mhm,
create something where people can feel that, like, when they listen to the song. And literally wrote um, some lyrics out, and then also, worked with a collaborator. Her name is Antonia, and created the lyrics, and then actually worked with some folks in Argentina to create the
mm,
music and the melody. And then from there, kind of, enough came about. And I
mm,
shared it with a friend of mine who's in the industry, Martine Bruno. And she's like, "Why don't you do an album?" And I'm like, "An album? No, 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 no." And I'm like, "But wait a second. This is something that I was on my list. So why not? I can do it differently. I can do it my way. I have the
yeah.
resources that I can do so. You could be an independent artist. So why not?" And really
Mm,
worked a lot with my vocal coach, David Narcissi, in order to kind of create, this whole album. So kind of from the, I want to be enough, and feeling worthy, and I want others to feel the same thing, and heal
yeah.
as they listen to the music, or at least part of their healing journey as they listen to the music. And then the other songs came about afterwards.
Mm. So that's phenomenal. That's great. So now that you have enough, what are you doing to produce enough? So people can hear this tremendous music. Of course, there's people who needing and wanting. So what are you doing to make sure that enough is being, worldwide known to many? Yay.
So
We don't deal with the
um
small God, we deal with the big God. So, gotta go big. He's a God who circles the block. So,
yes,
he's
yes,
he's
yes.
big. It may not was your time then, but hey, he said, "I'm coming back, stay still." So it's gonna be worldwide. I'm
Exactly.
telling you, Hollis,
Yes,
worldwide.
yes, 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 yes. And actually, a little bit was already. Actually, during
Yes.
the New Year's Eve celebration in Times Square,
Okay.
my song was actually played in the square. So the song "Running in Circles," which was my first single, was played this past New Year's Eve If you go
Mm.
back to the feed, you'll actually hear it in the background. You'll as well, and it was such a humbling moment. So at the same time, a humbling moment where I had my family from Florida, and also
Mm.
some friends call me up and saying, I heard your song in the background. So it was kind of nice to experience that and to hear that from them. And actually that night, I found out that it was Shazammed like over maybe 250 times that night, which was kind of
Mm.
cool in the moment. So that's definitely one way of
Yeah.
getting the songs out there, and also I would say just getting on playlists on Spotify, and then of
Yeah.
course through social media and such too,
Oh
and
wow.
performing.
So now so now would there be like a part two, or are you in the making of um doing another album, and or are you continue to take this on tour as you go around? Because again, I'm not into the music industry, right? My little
Mhm.
big huge eyes only see what I know. So correct me if I'm
Mhm.
wrong, because just to promote, of course, you want that single to go big, and of course the album comes behind, or vice versa. I don't
Mhm.
know how a producer works in that music industry, but are you planning on taking Enough on the road, and will there be a part two to Enough, or are you planning on doing
Ooh.
another
Yeah,
album?
yeah, yeah. To your lips to God's ears, right?
Yes.
About a tour. So I actually um so not at the moment. I haven't decided to tour it as yet. And I'm also new
Okay.
in this industry as well. I'm a baby in this industry, so I'm kind of learning as I'm going. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so I would say it's so I did have a performance in November, kind of to with family and friends in the room to celebrate the release of the album. And then now it's just it's finding venues to perform it in, and
Right.
then and kind of just going from there. And then your second question um, about coming out with another album, or album number two. Interestingly enough, as soon as it was released, my brother Nick, he was like, "So when is album number two coming out?" And I'm like, "But wait,
Oh,
I'm not even I can't,
yes.
like, I'm still like still basking in album number one. Wait.
Right.
But I will say, just because I love creativity. So yes,
Mhm.
album number two is actually in the works, and I would say album number one took about 2 years, to make. So
Mm.
if
Yeah.
we're in the same realm, then if it takes the same, 2 years, then maybe 2 years later, maybe it might come out too. Um, but yes, they're actually I'm in conversations already with some
Yes.
producers for album number two.
Yes, album two come through. Yeah, see. That's how you show up. Yes, we come in album two. This takes time. It just takes time. So of
It
course I
does.
won't put you on the spot for us to hear a little tune. Of course, I don't want YouTube or Facebook to, try to pull us out there. So of course we would definitely play it on our social media for everyone to hear Enough. And if you're out there, please make sure that you go ahead and stream, download Enough from my friend Hollis. Of course, you all will love it. So now, as we end the show, Hollis, is there anything that keeps you going? Any affirmation, any prayer or quotes? Because we know it's not hard, especially there's so many categories that as an entrepreneur or a creative has to go through that many don't see. And some days you have your ups, your downs, but no matter what, you still go through, and a lot of people don't see that in the background. So what keeps you going? What keeps Hollis motivated along this journey?
Ooh. Ooh. Um, Remembering what my purpose is, remembering why
Mm,
I'm here, why I was
yeah,
birthed, why I was brought onto this earth at this moment in the
yeah,
now. And it was something that a a friend of mine who's a pastor, actually Pastor Gloria,
hmm,
said, like, we're here at this time because we are heaven makers on earth.
mm,
And that, for me, um, like, I took that to heart on,
yeah,
my mission, my purpose, is to, I believe in a world where we choose to be our most creative,
Yeah.
authentic, and liberated selves. And being a heaven maker on this earth so we can be liberated and be creative and actually be who we are, our real selves in
Yeah.
all of our parts, so that is what keeps me going, keeps me moving, keeps
Mhm.
me doing what I'm doing.
Wow. Heaven makers on earth. Yes. I like that. Yes, yes, yes. Again, thank you, Hollis, for being on Coffee with Joy. And please make
Thank
sure
you
that
so
you
much.
all get out, rush out now, get this book, Boldly Bound for you. It's an interactive book, so it's just not for reading. It surely will get you all writing, get you all thinking, and have being thought provocative. So please make sure that you go out and get Hollis' book. Again, thank you, Hollis, for being on Coffee with Joy. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy. Please make sure that you follow our, if you like to patronize our company, please make sure that you follow our Q codes here. And also, if you'd like to be on Coffee with Joy, please make sure that you email us at thecoffeewithjoyshow@gmail.com, as well as our website. And we look forward to what's coming up next month. So stay tuned for Coffee with Joy. And if it's we're here in spring, so make sure that you get out, enjoy the weather. And as you know, where Coffee with Joy is going to be, well, if it's a weekday or a weekend, live life on purpose, and see you all soon. We